Hey, everybody. By the way, everyone's all like, look at my utensil, look at my utensil. I'm old school. I guess I have the new ones too, but I'm old school. You gotta love, this makes me happy. I know everyone's talking about how they got started in Tupperware. Literally, my wife said, make Tupperware videos. And that's what I'm doing. She does all the Tupperware work. I just show up on camera and make food and then eat it. So that's it. And they said, Jared, you're doing a Tupperware demo tonight. And I'm like, I am? What am I making? And they go, what are you making? And I said, you know what? I'm going to make something that I've been making since I was a kid. And that would, every time I was home alone, I would make meringue cookies. I would spend so much time doing it. And I love meringue. And if you don't know about meringue is a very fun and delicate process. And a couple things can make your meringue so easy. The first thing is everything has to be bone dry. Everything has to be room temperature, including the eggs. Now, when I separate eggs, I'm a terrible egg separator, but you know what I have? I have a Tupperware egg separator, which is great. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take my Tupperware egg separator and I'm actually going to use my modular mates as a base so you can see me doing this stuff. I never show people having me separate eggs. Now, if you're ever going to separate eggs, a couple things you should know, always separate them one at a time. And what I mean by that is make sure that every egg is perfect before you put it in the bowl, because even a little itty bit of yolk will ruin your eggs. So you want to make sure you do that. I'm going to get rid of these real fast. And now the recipe calls for 4, but for our purposes today, I'm actually going to do a half recipe. And of course, you have to be very patient with your egg separation. That's why I've already separated one of them before we began, but I'm only going to do 2 eggs today for this demo, because otherwise we can spear and watch it wait. But again, clean, dry, room temperature, that makes all the difference. Now, when I was a kid, I never would have cream of tartar because I never let my mom know I was doing this. So I would always do it without cream of tartar, but cream of tartar is really, really easy. And I have some, and look, it's pre-measured in my, you know what that is, Tupperware, of course. So I got a little bit of cream of tartar, which will make it a little bit easier to go. And then I'm going to come over here and see if I can get that egg whites to come out of there. And by the way, don't let the egg yolks go to waste. Put them aside, make a little egg yolk omelet, do something with them. I don't like to waste food. When I need only egg yolks, I make meringue. When I need only egg whites, I make an omelet. So all right, here we go. Here it comes, and looking pretty good. Look at that. Again, I love a good egg separator. It was so funny because I'm like, do we have a Tupperware egg separator? And my mother-in-law brought me hers. So there you go. All right, so there you go. It looks good, and I'm going to pour it into my whip and mix. I love my whip and mix. You've seen everybody demo the whip and mix. The whip and mix is great. It is so ridiculously easy. Now, I used to do this by hand with a whisk, but when I do this, I'm not even like, this is a real-time demo. I'm just going to go like this, round and round and round and round and round. Now, the good news is this is barely any work. Now, if this thing thickens up, there's a second gear here, and I can actually make it go to second. But even in just these few moments, let's see how I've gotten this to go up, and look at that. It's already getting to go. Oh my goodness, it's already almost good to go. Now, the trick is you whip it. You don't want to over whip it. You want to whip it until it's time to start adding the sugar. Now, with 4 eggs, you're going to add 1 cup of sugar, because I got 2 eggs, I'm only going to add a half a cup of sugar, and you're going to add it nice and slowly. Now, I heard somebody else mention earlier that every time they're doing a demo that their dog rings the bell. Well, you got 1 dog, I've got 7. So if you may at any moment hear a dog ringing a bell or barking or growling or any sorts of things, because, you know, that's what dogs do when you're cooking in the kitchen. All right, so now, I think that was it. I think it's literally, look at that, stiff peaks, like real time, no delay here, real time stiff peaks. So now, what I need to start doing is I need to start adding my sugar in. You want to add it a little bit at a time. You don't want to overdo this, but it really is so quick. Now, when it comes to making meringue, and by the way, it's just so fast. I mean, the funny part about this demo is it's faster than I expect, and it's getting thick. I mean, it's really, really getting thick, which is amazing. Can I just keep adding it in there? I'm adding it too quickly, but it's still working. Now, because it's getting so thick, I can flip it into second gear, and now it doesn't sound like it's doing anything, but trust me, it's going even faster. It's amazing how second gear works in this. And I'm going to keep adding meringue. Now, I add the sugar to the meringue. Now, the question comes to mind is, what do you do next? Great, you eggs and sugar, and oh, I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. What do you do next? Well, there's different ways of cooking meringue. Now, back in the day, I would do it the nice and slow way to do it. And that means I would do it in my oven on a few hundred degrees for like an hour on parchment paper. And I would slowly let them dry out, which is awesome, by the way. And they get perfectly crispy, almost no gooiness whatsoever. Or you can actually use our wonderful silicone sheets, stick them in the microwave and do it for just like, it's going to vary based on your microwave. So you want to keep checking every few seconds, every about 30 seconds or to see how sticky they are. And you always want to make sure that you let them set. You don't want to make them too big, by the way, because then they get extra gooey. But this is it. I mean, I'm going to add, look at that. Look at that. That is, now I would so want to eat that, but you can't because of the raw eggs. By the way, if you didn't know, if you really ever need raw meringue, they do actually sell, measuring cups. There we go. They do actually sell pasteurized eggs. They're a lot more money, but if you ever need to have a recipe that's going to use raw eggs, that's the eggs to use for it. So now they're nice and vanilla-y. Gonna whip it up a little bit more. So now the question is, what do I do next? Now, we're gonna do an experiment right here, right now. I'm gonna do an untried part of the recipe. Now, again, the recipe says, put them on a thing, microwave thing, but I said to myself, my favorite toy is, you'd think this is my favorite toy. And you think this is my favorite Tupperware toy, but my favorite Tupperware toy, by the way, before I tell you what my favorite Tupperware toy is, isn't everyone's favorite Tupperware toy Modular Mates? All right. Now, my real favorite Tupperware toy, the one that I use every day, everyone says they use it every day, but come on, my MicroPro grill, I literally like this. I need a second MicroPro grill so I can make multiple things at the same time. I love my MicroPro grill. And I was thinking to myself, the MicroPro grill makes things that are such crispy and clean and dry. And like, maybe I can actually do this. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to take my MicroPro grill and I am going to, in the casserole mode, not the grill mode, because I would flatten them, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to spoon out very carefully some meringue puffs onto my MicroPro grill and see exactly what happens here. By the way, I have to show you this again. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that like that is some stiff peaks right there. So I'm going to come over here. Normally I would use like a piping bag, but I don't have time for that today. So I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to make some little puffs in the grill. And of course, you don't need to do anything special. That's the best part about the grill because it's already non-stick. You don't have to add anything to make sure it's going to not stick to it. And I'm going to add, I think I'm going to do 5 puffs. I think 5 puffs will be good. All right. So there you go. 5 puffs in the grill. Are you ready? How long? By the way, this would be a really good time to make sure that you don't not do the grill mode, because if I flatten them, that'd be terrible. So I'm going to stick them in the microwave. And I'm going to go for 2 minutes, which is probably 2 minutes too many, but there you go. So I am loving our work with Tupperware. It has been such a fun ride. So my wife, Jeannie, she does all the Tupperware stuff for us. I got to be honest with you. All I do is make fun videos and post them to the groups into YouTube. And she does all the work, hosting the parties and stuff. But the both of us together have so much fun. Every week it's another item. And the best part of it is I love watching everybody talk about their legacy items. My stack cooker is a different color as well. Everyone's doing this stuff. It really is this generational thing of Tupperware, and to be in the middle of it for myself, or the beginning of it for somebody else's journey. Because you tell people, anybody who knows this, you never go, oh, remember that horrible thing I got from Tupperware? No one ever says that. They're like, I've had this for 50 years. And that's kind of the fun thing about being that part of it and then, doing it. Also the pandemic, which of course has made it so that we can't do the in-person parties. I have a really big social online presence, and it's really been useful to get people to really kind of connect with each other. And it also allows me to bring strangers together in parties the way I never would, because people are really willing to do that in other sorts of ways. So anyway, we're going to wait a few more seconds to see if this pops out, because I'm dying to know if this is going to work, and I want you to see it in front of you. You should do it the proper way, of course. That is, either slow bake them or microwave them. But I keep telling people that every time I use my MicroPro grill, I make things that are crispy, yummy, and good. And I keep trying, and I've got all sorts of crazy experiments we've been doing with them. And almost all of them have worked out, which has been amazing. All right, I got 25 seconds left. And let's see, what else am I supposed to tell you? Yeah, stuff is good. Yeah, MicroPro grill, I gotta be honest with you. The funny part is, before the MicroPro grill, my stack cooker I would use constantly. And actually, one of the things that I really want to find out is sort of the battle of the bacons. How many different ways can you make bacon with Tupperware? And the way I make bacon with my micropro grill is very different than the way I make bacon with my stack cooker. Uh-oh. Let's see if it was too long. Even with 2 minutes, this is going to be hella hot. So be really, really careful. And the big reveal. Oh my God, they're cookies. They are cookies. And I bet you, yeah, they could go in for a little bit longer, but they've got that nice little coating on them. So anyway, I am going to cook them for a few more minutes, find out exactly the thing, and we'll get back to you on the best way to cook meringue cookies in the micropro grill. My name's Jared, and thanks for watching.